Looking throughout, we have the AlphaTauri of Kimaru also coming out onto the circuit. 15 drivers taking qualifying today. And their current standings, just to update you all on our championship standings, it is Leo with 197 points. He was not here last week for Saudi Arabia. Then it is Drew at 134. He came second. Lenny, you have 115.
Still, yes.
Yep. Sierra, who is participating this weekend after some doubts with connection issues just all abound. He is currently sitting at 115 points. Luck won his first race last weekend. He's going to be looking to continue that form. He is on 75. My headphones fell. It's like...
You'll need them still.
Yeah, we need them for a long weekend here, as Bluey is now setting his first flying lap. Both Saubers are over there. Lads, and it's Wolfie filling in for Troy.
Louis does have a Mercedes behind him, but luckily that Mercedes is on an out lap. I'm not sure if that's Leo or Luck. Okay, it's Leo because Luck just started his hot lap. I think Leo is trying to get a slipstream off Bluey here. Then on the other hand, he is leaving a gap now. Surprise.
Yeah, I'm sure he knows. He is mindful of last weekend with what happened with Drew, I'm sure. Where coming around the final turn of Saudi Arabia, Drew ended up in a little bit of a tussle with Laz as Bluey crosses the line and sets a 1:18.8. That is our first time, our provisional time. And Kimaru immediately beats it by a second. 1:17.6.
I think by the end of this, we will see low 116s, high 115s in the end.
Yeah.
It is kind of difficult to predict how much time you will lose in the rain. We certainly see John with a 117.2 right now. However, Syrah hasn't done a run yet, Leo hasn't done a run yet, Luck hasn't done a run yet.
Yeah. Drew has also not done a run yet. Glazzy, 117.
So we should still... Oh, okay. Immediately into the mid-115s.
Yeah, that's a 1:15.6 from Luck, who seems to be finding some form now. Continuing that form. We'll have to see what Leo sets, though he is rounding the end of Sector 2 right now.
His current time being 57.58 seconds after Sector 2. That is looking like a good time so far, but it's too early to call because the exit out of that turn can be very rough.
Oh yeah, you mess up that exit coming around there, then your whole run down the straight's compromised. Leo slotting it at a 1:15.9 behind Sierra. We won't get a time for Drew until the end, probably. Drew usually likes to sit in the garage for a good chunk of the session.
I mean, normally I would agree with that strategy because it's good to save tires and have them available for the race. Then again, I don't know what the weather is going to be like. If we're going to have both a dry sprint and a dry race, then there's really no reason to stay in the garage right now because these inters won't get used anymore.
Yeah. Whereas if you do have... There is also the risk that the rain gets worse here and it becomes wet weather tires, in which case you're setting yourself up pretty badly for the race, and what for Drew right now is a make or break race. You know, just what I would call the chaos factor, just clinging on mathematically in case something absolutely bonkers happens. You want to be able to have that.
And it does look like Leo is going for another hot lap right after his first one. Went for a cooldown lap, his battery is pretty much charged. And that's kind of what you want to do in a wet track on inters. You kind of want to be out a lot. You want to feel the track, you want to feel the conditions, give yourself some leeway, give yourself more time to run. And while you
Yeah.
might lose some
Ooh.
time with the additional fuel load, it
Oh, that
still
Haas is
is
able
worth
to
it
get out of
for
the
the
way.
experience.
Yeah, that is Drew actually coming out pretty early compared to what I've normally seen him do. So Drew right there getting out of the way, trying to avoid what happened in Saudi Arabia once again. Both Aston Martins are coming out as well. But that's Skylar on a flyer, actually. Filling in a couple other times. Taj 117.4. Morgan's kind of in her own little world in fourth with a 116.5. Skylar ahead of his teammate by 200ths. Wolfie struggling to find his grip in the wets at a 120.2. Beyond that, a bunch of cars are coming around now, and there's Leo with a 115.7 getting ahead of Sierra. If Sierra is on a flyer, we'll have a chance to shoot back. He is up on his previous time.
Even if it's only by 100, it's not that much of a margin. Obviously, every single bit helps, especially when the times are close. Oh, but that was a bit of a slip up here in turn number.
Yeah, and that's his lap done. Not going to be able to really fight back from that kind of a mistake. He will either pit or go around again, depending on what his fuel situation is.
Considering he didn't really have that much time gain previously, I think it's not the worst thing that he invalidates here. He's probably going to pit at this rate. Battery is certainly empty. He would have to drive another cooldown lap for sure if he wants to charge that up. So I think the better choice would be to just pit.
Yep, and there he goes.
Yeah.
Alright, with Glazzy on an out lap, a bunch of drivers coming around. We have a Salver coming. That is Laz. No improvement. That was also a Haas coming around. That was Glazzy. No real improvement in position there. Drew, the last of our drivers to set a time, is currently rounding Sector 2, going on to this final back straight. His battery is blinking. Some signs have been taken out.
Oh, that's not the battery. That's just rain marker. In the rain.
Oh, but he's
blinking.
Oh, I thought he was pitting. He went through the timing line, but he gets there on pole.
He sets a 15.4. That's a pretty strong time. 2:10 faster than what Luck said previously. I mean, we still have a lot of runs left. We are basically just past half time here. But that is certainly a strong lap he set. That's a strong marker, and it might set him up for an actual race win this time around.
Yeah, he really needs that race win, especially at this point. He has been searching for that race win all season. He has come third numerous times. He came second last week. And it's just, he's had a painful season of being so close. He's tasted it. Can he do it here in Brazil? I'm seeing Glazzy on a flyer. He is approaching a Sauber. Is he a... That is Laz once again, but I think Laz is on his cooldown lap. And he manages to get out of the way.
But Glazzy also doesn't have any batteries, so I think Glazzy's on a cooldown lap as well.
Yeah. Looking at Avery here. I think he is on a flyer. No, not judging by that time.
Morgan is starting to set a time here. Rounding turn number 10 right now. It has been 2/10 up on a previous time.
Yeah. She's looking to break into that 115s.
Not quite. It's only 2.5 tenths now. There's still 2.5 missing in that case, but she's certainly gonna get closer here.
Yeah. And here she goes, gets just as far in as she can, and that's an improvement. So no change in position. Avery's in 6th! That's a
Impressive.
117 flat on him.
Very impressive. Yeah, he's come a long way.
Yep. Oh, that was Zed improving up the P5. That they haven't really been out qualifying their teammate much either. That would be a good show that they still have something left in the tank. They are focusing more on endurance, focusing more on IMSA and other such things, but they are still finishing out this season for McLaren. McLaren on a good set for a good constructors finish, trying to just hold their position really. They're doing pretty well though.
I mean, the fight between McLaren and Ferrari is still wide open. It's only a 10-point difference, and considering that there are no Ferraris in this race today at all, should be their time to shine. This is the moment where they really want to catch up.
Yeah, it is a sprint weekend too. Most points available. There is 32 points on offer. Maximum. Of course, they're not going to get those 32, probably. But they will at least do
out that third row.
well.
If they can lock out that third row, they're certainly going to be very happy with that.
Oh yeah, that gives them good points haul. That more than makes up the 10-point gap, and then puts the onus in Ferrari's court, in Mateus's court. Basically challenges him to say, look, if you want to get past us in the constructor standings, you're gonna win a race.
Leo?
Oh, Avno loses the rear there, does some drifting through on that second to last turn. He should be going into pits, but he does manage to keep it out.
Yeah, that battery is halfway through. Before you start a cooldown lap, you can just put on a new tire. He is finishing his lap, surprisingly. He's starting his battery, though, so maybe he's really just going on a cooldown lap, setting another hot lap. But with only 4.5 minutes left on the clock, I'm not sure if that's the right decision.
Yeah, you do kind of just, at this point, probably want to go into the garage right now. Bolt on tires, or even just reduce the fuel load, go as light as you can, and go. There is a Mercedes coming out of the pits. I think that is
Luck. Leo is currently setting up for a hot lap, it seems. No, he doesn't push for it. He's at 100%, so he's probably on his in lap right now. So getting new tires for one more. No, he's using his battery now. Why did he enable his battery that late into the lap? He kind of lost a few kilometers here.
Yeah. Looking at John now snaking his way through Sector 2. Gets by the Aston Martin. Going around. Gonna maybe challenge. Ooh. He's 7 times up.
Puts him in a 16.5 range right now, so it looks like he had a bit of an issue in Sector 2 and 3 previously. Depending on how much time he lost in Sector 3 in that final turn, he might swoop it up to P5 here.
Yeah, we'll see.
Looks like not quite.
Yeah, that's 116.4. That is gonna more than likely be his last time unless he can charge up that battery.
He has 2 laps, technically, where he can charge the battery, but he doesn't put it on recharge, so I don't think he's aware of that. Maybe he also doesn't have fuel to do it. We don't know.
Yeah, he could just be on lower fuel. Luck is 2 temps up right now, I am looking. Leo is in the pits now. Don't know if he has enough time to get back out. Luck getting a little squirrely through the Sector 2. Now that sequence of turns there is just really hard to get on the grip. You want to be as flat as you can, especially in the dry. In the wet, it becomes a lot more feathery. Your grip can easily go away, and you can lose it. And that'll make and break your Sector 2. Yeah, Luck is now, 7 temps down.
That's Avery, who missed the turn. Went straight for a moment. Maybe he's got the time. And no, he does have some battery, but he doesn't have fuel, so that's qualifying over for him.
Yeah. Luck. I have a feeling he's just going to try to charge up his battery here and maybe go for one more if he has the fuel, but I don't know if he has the fuel for it. There is an Alpine coming out. Sierra with a provisional pole time of 1:15.4. Drew going to be looking to respond to that. Both of them are going to be coming out of the pits. Leo is also coming out of the pits. Will he get around in time? We'll see.
1 minute 10 is certainly doable from that position on, so I would
Yep,
say
and
that,
Drew has invalidated. Drew has invalidated his lap.
He is up enough, I think, that he might be able to get another lap in, but he has to be quick. He has to charge up his battery. He can't really stop.
Yeah.
He should be able to get around in time, but
Yeah, he should.
missing that chance is not really that great, especially when your new tires are now used because of it. Oh,
Yeah.
and we saw that,
Yeah.
Drew. We saw that cut.
Oof. Ugh. Yeah, no, cutting that corner is trying to get through that time. Gonna have to make a note of that one, eh?
And it might not even be quite enough.
Let's see,
16
we'll
seconds, 15.
see.
I think it's barely gonna be enough
Yeah.
already with the cut.
See,
Oh,
I see
5,
ties.
4, 3. Yeah, he's got it. Okay.
Yeah. I do
Still
see
something to
ties
note.
moving up. But yeah, that is something to note.
I mean, I can totally understand why he did it. I mean, everyone has the
Yeah.
understanding for that, but only because you're under such a time pressure doesn't give you the right to do it.
Yeah. Ooh, Laz improved the P9. 1:16.5. Sorry to interrupt there.
The last runs coming in. Morgaine is going into the pits. Right behind is
Yeah.
Luck with the final lap. When
He
he's
is
crossing the
5/10
finish
up.
line, he is done. 5/10, you said?
Yeah, I saw 5 temps. Oh,
Ooh,
no.
but he
That
did
might
lose
have been
quite a bit of
something.
time.
That might have just been my telemetry giving me something weird then.
Skylar also not really making it. Zed is also not improving. Syrah had a bit of a gap. Goes into the 114s.
Yeah, it's
The
a
only one who could beat that is Leo.
1:14.
But Leo doesn't have the time. Leo gets ahead of Luck.
1:15.5. Drew, 1:14.9. Though he did cut the corner to even get the shot to make that qualifying time.
Yeah, I think that is worth talking about for a penalty after the race. I don't think
Yeah, we
it
can't.
happen because of that.
Yeah. Like, there's not really much to say about it during the race. But we are going to have to take a look at it.
In any case, that brings Drew onto the pole for the sprint, followed up by Syrah, Leo, and Luck in P4. That was an interesting qualifying. What do you think?
Yeah, very interesting. I think the rain started to lighten up maybe a little bit towards the end. The track started to come to the drivers, and they found a good chunk of pace. Impressive battle here between Drew and Sierra, who are certainly some of the better qualifiers in this session. Leo ahead of his teammate. He is putting himself in a position to score good points. He needs to make up that distance to Drew, though, if he wants to clinch it today, anyway. But commanding lead, he's kind of just doing what he needs to do to hold on to that lead right now.
The one issue that Leo has right now is that between Drew and him, there's also another Alpine. There's Syrah, who's also keen on getting points. I mean, that could play in his favor because Syrah is certainly going to challenge Drew for the win. But on
Oh
the other
yeah.
hand, if Leo wants to get to Drew, Leo also has to get through Syrah right now, especially at the start. And Syrah
Oh
has
yeah.
the inside line.
Yeah. Sierra is. We've been watching him all season. Sierra is somebody that won't yield. Because I think in like some of the practice stuff he said, like he's not gonna like give way for I think what he called somebody doing something dumb.
However, here
He's
is hope that his net is gonna stay strong.
mhm. Yep.
Because that would be a
Sierra's
hard
not
one.
yeah. Sierra is not a driver that will just settle for second, settle for good points. He's going for that win.
Oh yeah, so. But again, so is Drew, so is Leo. Like every single driver here is obviously trying to go for it. When you have like the usual 3 or 4 contenders to get there under normal circumstances. Then again, on track, everything can happen. And we will still have to wait with that question until after this sprint, because the sprint's first, and the sprint is doing nothing but determining the start grid for the actual race. Maybe a few points.
Yeah, there's 8 points up for grabs for the leader, for the winner. That's more than nothing. Especially with how close some of these fights are. The fight between Drew and Sierra is about 15, 14 points right now, but that was after issues last weekend. Like, Sierra is more than capable of like bringing that gap up to get second in the driver's standings. For somebody like Avo and the Aston Martin team, who are in a really tight constructors battle with Sauber and Williams, like their gap is a single point to Williams right now, and Sauber is only 7 points behind Williams. As here we go, lining up on the front row, Drew followed by Sierra. It's an all Mercedes second row, Leo and Luck. All McLaren on the third row. Very good qualifying from then. Zed leading Morgan. Then it's Kimaru in the AlphaTauri, and John in the sister Red Bull are leading Sauber, and one of his better starts of the year is Laz in 9th, and it's Ties in 10th, being the lead Williams. Avery leads off the Aston Martin pair in 11th, and Glazzy, the Haas, has had one of his worst starts of the season, down in 12th. Then we have Skylar and Bluey rounding out the second to last row, and Wolfie will line up at the end of the grid.
What's interesting to note here is that Wolf, Ties, and Avo are running mediums. Everyone else is on softs. We're running 12 laps. The real sprint would be 24, but due to 50%, we are having 12 laps here, which is a notable distance where the softs are gonna start to drop off, I would say. So
Yeah.
towards the end, this could be interesting for Wolf specifically, and also for Ties and Avo, of course. But Wolf, the only one of these three who is in the points right now.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
Kimaru.
these mediums, Kimaru, yeah.
Yeah.
That could be very interesting towards the end, where these mediums could come in handy to maybe score another 1 or 2 positions.
Yep. Ooh. Drivers started to prance their way down. This is pretty fast for a formation lap, I'd say.
I mean, this is one of the shortest tracks in the whole calendar. A lap under green flag usually takes about 1 minute 10 under race conditions, so the formation lap is going to be considerably fast. What we will have to pay attention to here
He
is,
overshoots his grid box.
what we'll have to pay attention here is
Alright.
Syrah and Drew, because Syrah has the
1,
inside
2,
line
3, 4, 5 lights. I'm sorry to interrupt, because FRL is away in Brazil, and Leo and Sierra or Drew and Sierra, sorry, excuse me, going down. Leo has a better start, it looks like, but Drew maintaining the lead there. Sierra's line not able to get as best, and Leo's fighting his way through. They are too wide going onto this front straight. Drew is going defensive to the inside. Leo holding that outside line. He's looking to get by Sierra. And Sierra's holding on, though. He's being a stubborn dragon. Leo looking inside as we now go into Sector 2. They are still too wide. And Leo forcing his way through, finally, through that inside line. That's Sierra down in third as he clears the first obstacle to a sprint race win.
However, this battle has caused Drew to be 1.5 seconds ahead. This is huge for him. He really wants that 1 second gap in order to not be in that DRS range.
Indeed he does. That's going to be crucial. He needs to win here, and he needs to outscore Leo if he wants to even mathematically hold on. Remember, that is what is at stake. Mathematically holding on to the Drivers' Championship here. I'm sure Drew, at the very least, would love to drag out that Drivers' Championship to the finale in France, as Wolfie's out of the session here. Looks like he pulled into the pits, but it's Drew, Leo, Sierra, our leading trio, and Leo has managed to get that gap down to about a second. It's going to be really close when the DRS comes up. Then we have Luck, about a 10th back from Sierra, who's kind of tumbling down the order. He's not found the pace on this opening lap. The two McLaren drivers managing to hold position. Kimaru also holding in 7th, John in 8th, Laz in 9th, and Ty's in 10th.
Drew has managed to drive out a bit of a gap. Maybe his setup is a bit more set for Sector 2.
Yeah.
Which would mean that Leo, who had a bad exit out of the last turn, would actually catch up here, and so he does. It really seems like he's got a straight line set up here.
Yeah, interesting direction between these two. Getting that high downforce setup's good, especially if you're trying to pass. You can remain in that DRS section, in that DRS gap. And Leo does have DRS here. With that straight line setup, it's gonna be a lot harder to defend if you're Drew. Just having to really only get your chance to gap in Sector 2, where you're not really going to be making a passing opportunity anyway. But it's interesting to see setup decisions coming to play here.
It's especially dangerous for
I'm
Drew
looking
to get
down
back
in Sector 2, and I just saw John and Kimaru have a little bit of lag, but these guys are in a tight fight right now for the last points position. But I feel like what I saw was a Red Bull spearing into an AlphaTauri. We'll have to see what happens there.
I mean, that wouldn't be the first time an AlphaTauri in Asterisk gets re-ended this year, so...
Yeah, and that's Kimaru getting past Zed. Straightforward DRS pass. It looks like lag is coming into play here for this back fight. John looking to the side, to the inside of Zed. Zed trying to hold the traction on the outside, giving as much of a squeeze as they can, taking as much curb as they can. They're going to be side by side through to start a Sector 2.
Zed yields though and allows John to go through. John taking P7 here.
Yeah. Zed tumbling down, gonna be threatening to get out of the points.
Meanwhile, at the front, Leo is now in striking range, only 6 tenths behind. On such a long straight with that different, with such a different setup, he might be striking and trying to catch Drew off guard. Drew's covering the inside a bit.
Yeah, Leo dives to the inside right there. He's gonna have the inside line through the center S's, but Drew manages to hold the outside traction there. But Leo will have the second DRS. Drew trying to cover off an inside lunge, but Leo gets to the inside line. These two are fighting really tight. Oh,
I would yield. Although he does have the inside right now, but he's not gonna be able to fight that for long. His battery is drained.
Oh,
His battery is drained. Maybe the better move would have been to just let Leo pass, to stick it behind, allow the battery to recharge, and then retake the lead a few laps after. On this straight, that is doable.
indeed. Yeah, especially like with a high downforce setup, you can take advantage of that traction for Descent S's, set yourself up into a passing position on that second DRS straight. But now Drew has got very little to defend with left. Leo can just go for the pass here. They're both going as inside as they can. Drew holding the inside. Leo goes around, though, with the DRS, and he's through. Drew with nothing left to defend his lead from.
I mean, this fight is not over yet. We still have 7 laps to go, including this one. And
Indeed.
Drew is sticking it behind. And if he can stick it behind through the entirety of this lap, then he'll have DRS to catch up, to stick it behind Leo, to now recharge his battery. And with his high downforce setup, he should be able to stick it behind.
He really should. We'll see what he can do, though. Other factor here, though, will be Sierra, who can pose a danger, especially if Drew starts to maybe fall back a little bit. We'll have to see where his attention really lies. If Sierra forces him to drive in his mirrors, that'll give Leo the chance to go...
Oh, Drew, a mistake with a big mistake here.
Yeah, pretty big mistake. That's Drew in the grass. And
not
he's now down in
DRS, however.
Yeah, he is now down in 4th. Luck and Sierra are fighting here. At least a little bit. Sierra managing to hold the position right now. Looking down, though, Glazzy's actually managed to get past Zed into the points. Glazzy on his own little bit of a charge in the back of the field.
Unfortunately, Zed did not really have the line in order to make a comeback happen here. They actually have to be careful that Ty is not gonna go past you. Peeking on the inside, but not going for the move.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of a red blinking light. Maybe Zed just running out of resources to really fight as this sprint ticks down. Glazzy finding his pace now after a subpar qualifying session, just getting into the points. He'll be happy with that one.
However, he does have a 2-second gap towards the front now, so we'll have to see if he can catch up, if he can get more than this 1 point. Meanwhile, looking at the front, Sierra's catching up now with DRS. Luck behind.
Ooh.
Luck is trying to push, getting all of his battery there, going to the outside next to Sierra. Sierra is holding the inside there, will have a bit of a better line potential.
Yeah. Yeah, Sierra does have the traction, and this invites Drew, maybe, to have a shot, especially if Luck is using up his resources right now. Luck going defensive. A lot of them running low on battery, but currently the order is as it stands right now.
Honestly, in my eyes, that was a misjudgment by Luck. He had the absolute battery advantage. He wasn't 60%. That was by far the most out of all of these 4, even more than Leo. So, given the right time, Sierra could have caught up here for a bit, and Luck could have just pulled behind, just stick with it, and then made a move once the situation looked a bit better than that. This was just a complete waste of battery, and nothing resulted out of it.
Yeah, we still have 4 to go in the sprint here. Update for you, Leo leading Sierra, Luck leading Drew, Morgan leading John. Zed's currently tumbling down in 9th after a start in 5th. Himaru and Glazzy, the ones getting past them. And then we have the back of the grid. Nothing much has changed back there. We are waiting to see if those who choose to go for the medium tires will maybe see the pace come to them, but currently the only one who could really benefit from that's Kimaru. Avo's a little too far back to really make something happen with it.
Oh, John had a crash! Oh, he's out!
Oh,
He tried to go past Morgaine. I saw it. He wanted to go on the inside. Morgaine covered the inside, and John tried to go on the outside, but he did not have the space anymore. Gets into the back of Morgaine, which flips him out, and this is a safety car, a very late safety car, which is very bad for Syrah. I was about to say good, but the thing is, he's not gonna get any more DRS.
Yeah, no more DRS will be available. This does even up the field. That'll be good for, well, pretty much everybody behind Zed. This also does benefit Zed in that they get a chance to recharge their resources. They can get back into the points and maybe come away with something to bring up the gap to Ferrari. Oh! Avo with a drive-through for speeding under the safety car conditions. I think they were just caught out by the delta as the track winds through Sector 2. That is a really hard delta to maintain. Is that 2 drive-through penalties?
At least I saw the message pop up a second time.
I would certainly hope that's not 2 drive-throughs.
That's another... What?
What is...
He's going into the box. He doesn't... Wait, can you serve a drive-through under the safety car?
You cannot.
I was about to say, then I don't see the point. Maybe he's just retiring at this point, because honestly, there's no point continuing if you have 3 drive-through penalties.
Yeah, that's what you got. Oh, dear. Yeah, no point in wasting the tires, anyway. I think he might have just thought you could serve it under safety car.
Surprisingly, it's going for another set of mediums instead of softs.
I'm assuming he just didn't change it, just thought you could serve it. Safety car in this lap. Yeah, if I were Avo, I would just save the tires.
Everyone's battery is pretty much charged here. We will have to wait for Leo to reopen the race. He's purposefully going slow. Syrah is sticking behind. It's on a hair trigger right now.
Yeah. Well,
Leo wants to reset.
I don't know how much of that case is purposeful. A lot of it is just the game throttles you a little bit until.
There we go. Leo's
Brazil. Leo holding.
Late to follow up. Luck might be getting the jump on the inside here. Is not trying it though. Now we will have 2 laps of pure racing.
Yeah, that is going to be good for a few of them. Glazzy getting up. He is on fresh softs, actually. He pit for fresh soft. He's going to have a big tire advantage. He might be able to get some good points, actually, and get a good starting position for the race. Glazzy's up into 8th now. Skylar with a 3-second time penalty for track warnings. Glazzy going to be sizing up Zed. Laz and Ties fighting it out in the back there. Though that's not going to be for points right now. Glazzy is all over Zed's gearbox back here. He's going for the inside here. Gets alongside. May have traction along the outside. No, backs out a little bit. He has traction here. Zed's a little wide. Oh my goodness. Forced to back out. But that was some wonderful fighting there between Glazzy and Zed.
That was probably the weirdest spot ever to try and attempt a switchback that I've ever seen. It almost worked out, but then they clashed.
Yeah, like... one of those, you would have looked amazing if you did it. Now you just look kind of weird as Drew. I'm looking up front. Drew pulling to the inside. And Drew spun!
Oh, he was on pole. And now he's throwing the entire race away. How unfortunate. On the other hand, we have Syrah here. 3/10 behind Leo. Having a bit more battery, which might be very helpful in the charge towards the end. However, Leo's also on 50%, and that is more than enough to carry yourself from the final turn into the finish line. So I'm not sure if that battery advantage is actually going to be coming to play. However, Syrah is still only 3/10.
Here we go, rounding the last turn for the final time in the sprint weekend. These guys have been close all race right now. Leo's going down the main straight, and he is going to take the checkered flag and win the Brazilian sprint race. 8 points for him. 7 more over Drew. Zed getting by Glazzy's had a moment, it looks like. Drew getting up the 10th over Skylar as well, thanks to the penalty. But Leo has, if I did my math right earlier, and also judging from what Leo told me as well, we both I double-checked the math. There are 78 points left to grab after this race. And yes, a gap of 15 would mean that even if Drew gets all 78 net, Leo would still be champion on countback. So that would tie it, I believe.
Well, Leo certainly does have more race wins as of right now and in general. So there is no way for Drew to win if they actually draw in terms of points. He would have to come ahead in points.
Yeah.
That is looking very unlikely right now, though.
Yep. 8 points scored. 7 away from mathematically sealing it, then. We'll see.
Well, that was a sprint race and a half.
It's a very good sprint race. Exciting sprint race.
I'm not entirely sure what happened with Drew there because I wasn't on those. Did you see what happened? Like you said, he spun out, but was that all?
Yeah, I didn't notice any contact. I think he might have spun out on the curb. It was around the exits after the DRS straight. Might have been that curb, honestly.
That is rather unfortunate. However, he will still have the race to recover as much as he can, so not all is lost. But it's gonna be a tough one for him, starting from P10.
Yep. So we'll have to pay attention to that. 7 net points is all that is needed now.
Which means if we ignore the fastest lap, simply by winning the race, Leo could seal it right here, right now. First step is certainly done in that direction. Yes, one sprint race while Drew scored nothing, so he's setting himself up very well here. Waiting for the drivers to prepare the strategies, to ready up. What do you think? Will we see a one-stop or a two-stop here?
I'm thinking one stops usually. That just seems to be what's working for the grid. The whole season, that's just been what's working. Judging by the last race, the tire wear wasn't as bad or as big of a factor. Obviously, safety car helped a little bit. But, like, at least without a weird safety car moment or some other kind of intervention, I'm assuming we are going to see a one stop.
I would think simpler. Then a safety car obviously changes a lot of things. But I don't think a two-stop is completely out of the picture here because the pit lane's rather fast. You cut a bit off the track. You have a lot of laps where you have a lot of time to actually make up the tire difference again.
Yeah.
So I would cut it out. We'll have to see how the race evolves. Oh no, Sierra has left the session. That is not a good sign.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
At least it happened now. About to start the formation lap. There we go. The cars are underway.
Here, I'll make sure Sierra's in pick.
For some reason, I don't have a HUD or anything.
All right.
There we go.
All right, on the front row, our sprint race winner, Leo, and second place, Sierra. Then it's Luck and Morgan taking the second row. Kimaru and Zed line up on the third row. Kimaru improving in the sprint race. Then it's Ties and Glazzy. Glazzy having a good last lap charge after the safety car. It's then Laz and Drew in 9th and 10th. Skylar and Bluey, 11th and 12th. And then it's the second Aston Martin of Avo after some weird drive-through penalties. And it's John who DNF'd in the sprint in 14th. Lastly, it is Wolfie rounding out the grid.
One could think that Leo is already racing here with that gap forming between him and Sierra.
It is a very big gap.
Yeah, he decided to be a bit of a lawnmower.
Indeed,
On the way back to the grid, maybe to get the distance down. Tire-wise, we see almost everyone on the mediums except for Bluey, who chose to go on the softs. We'll see if that allows him to catch up some places here at the start of the race.
We're seeing Leo trundle now down to the grid. Taj having gone wide, or having missed his grid box.
Blue as well, which is a bit unfortunate considering he's the one who kind of wants to be very at the front of the box right now.
We're moments away now. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Couple jump start, but FRL is away in Brazil, and there's chaos on the starting grid. Morgan's going through to the inside of Luck. They're going to be side by side down. They're too wide going down, and oh my goodness. I think we have a lobby reset.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened here. Maybe it was the lag. Sierra did manage to rejoin in time, but I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, well, we do have a lobby reset. A lot of people leaving out. We'll have to, well, I got some good practice in, at least, for, well, the race start proper. We do have the starting grid for it.
Well, I suppose we'll have some time to kill then.
Indeed. Interesting ideas there being seen with them wanting to start on either the medium or the soft tire.
I mean, almost everyone picked the medium here, and I think that's also the proper choice because it gives you the best range of freedom to go on either the hard or the soft. Going for medium softs, I think might be a bit risky here. I'm not exactly sure what the tire says in Brazil. I haven't driven the track in too long to judge that. But part of me tells me that running mediums into softs here is not the best idea because the tire wear might be very high.
Indeed. Trying to do some quick and dirty math on the what's going on with the sprint points. How did it affect some of the constructors' battles? How many did McLaren get? McLaren got a 6 right there out of a 10-point gap. 4 more points and they overtake they overtake Ferrari in the standings. It's a prime opportunity, especially because they are starting so well for the future race. We have a couple other good results for some teams. Luck doing pretty well there with 6 points. Kibaru with the 4. How's in terms of constructors, the 4 there, it gets them to 48. McLaren are at 85. So kind of out of reach there, and there's not really much Williams can do to get back unless Kimaru kind of just dies for these next few races. Which I mean is possible.
Well, we've seen many things happen, like DNF can happen super quickly. I mean, we've literally just seen it happen with John, how quick it can happen.
Yep. That's not necessarily good for John, who's looking to maybe hold off Kimaru in the Drivers' Championship there. Just eating out a few more points. Morgan just managing to secure a decent lead over John, actually, with that in the sprint. Morgan's actually putting herself into a favorable spot to maybe overtake Mateus. 5 points at 62. She's at 67 compared to Mateus, who's at 66. They're going to have a fun fight for the end of the season. And nothing really moving with the back markers in the grid. Williams didn't get any points. Yeah, well, Ty's got 2, so that does give him 2 more points over Aston, who had a really good race last time. Now it is now 22 to Williams. Aston Martin sitting on 19 after the sprint race, provisionally.
So the same as before?
Gap's now 3 points instead of 1 point.
Ah, okay.
Ty's has 2 provisionally. That drive-through thing was very weird. So,
Oh yeah, it certainly was.
yeah, I've never seen this game do that.
Honestly, there's so many things I've seen this game do, and it honestly doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I feel like as 23 has gone on, it's just gotten more broken. And it's kind of amazing how they put seemingly more into this game over the last year before 24, and it's more broken.
Hey, I'm not sure how they mentioned to do it. I mean, we'll have to see what 24 gets with this. So far, it's not looking too bad. I have played ever since the handling patch yet, I have to admit. but
Yeah.
just from a stability perspective, I think we've had an improvement so far.
Yeah.
We are waiting for all the drivers to join the lobby. We are 14 out of the 15 right now. Still waiting for someone, even though I'm not entirely sure who it is.
Oh, I see. Apparently, Ava was not getting a delta display.
Yeah, I think I know of that bug.
Interesting. Very interesting.
It can happen. It is unfortunate, but it can happen. We are still waiting for the lobby to fill up. So it looks like we've had complete dry weather, which actually made the thought that we had in qualifying true, that it might be a bit more of a tricky condition, because I'm pretty certain that everyone attempted to pick a dry setup here in the wet qualifying, which is not really the most pleasant to drive.
Oh, yeah. Probably explaining why the times tumbled down once they got a little more used to it.
I mean, technically that's normal because you kind of want to go a bit more easy at the start, especially in the wet where it's very slippery, very easy to slide out, and then tune it up from there.
Indeed, indeed.
What surprises me the most is how much Leo seems to struggle in wet conditions.
Yeah, he's usually somebody who's a lot more careful. It's interesting. I don't know, careful's the right word for it, but he tends to be a driver who will like get to a point where he's like cozy with a position and then knows how to dial back the pace, which is oftentimes a skill in and of itself. I see a lot of people, especially a lot of the midfield drivers, who don't necessarily know how to do that really. And so they're firing on all cylinders every lap, and that just increases their chance of a mistake, especially on a track like this where some of the curbs are a little awkwardly placed on the track map. And if you're pushing hard, you go a little wide onto the curbs, and your car just dead. It's dead. That's my professional term for it. You die.
Yeah, I can get behind that. It is pretty much accurate.
Yep.
Okay, we are full now. Every single driver is in the lobby right now. We are just waiting for them to start. And then we should be able to get the race underway for the second time today in hopefully a few minutes.
Yep, hopefully.
He was probably still trying to set up the grid in order to represent the sprint results.
Oh, and the call to ready up. has been given. So we are minutes away from a race that could crown a champion.
Which means we will go into a short ad break and see you back on track right before we start the race.
Oh yeah, no. That's the NASCAR way. Welcome to the final lap, sponsored by Coca-Cola.
I mean, have you ever seen these race names?
Oh yeah, I know.
Have you literally seen RB?
Yeah, no. V-car. Yeah. Though I think my favorite name for a race comes from NASCAR and Busch Beer, rather than just going for it, let fans pick a name on the internet. So of course they called it the Bushy McBush Race 500.
Interesting name. Was it officially called like that?
Yes, it officially is in the NASCAR record books as the Bushy McBush Race 500.
I'm gonna be right back. I need to find my hope in humanity again. So I'll take a few minutes to search.
Yeah, look, it's just the Boatface meme all over again, but with NASCAR.
All right. As we wait
Mhm.
once again for all the setups and all the tiles to be selected, we have to technically consider that all the tiles that have been used previously are now
Oh, yeah.
available again due to the restart. However, since the sprint was in the dries and the qualifying was in the wet, I don't think there was a real issue
Yeah.
to begin with. I think the main difference it could make is that some people, or I think all
Yeah.
people, because the sprint is a little bugged still.
Yeah.
So I think everyone does have 2 sets of mediums available now instead of
Oh,
1.
yeah. So they can do, like, that opens up medium softs, especially if the safety cars come out that way. As we are once again going through the formation lap. And I appear to not have a UI.
That the same thing happened to me last time. It happened to me again now, and
There we
now I have
go.
it. I don't know why the UI was taking a bathroom break there, but now it's here.
Yeah, as here we go. Leo once again is on pole for this feature race. He is 7 points away over Drew from crowning himself as champion. Sierra lines up alongside him. Then it's Luck and Morgan on the second row. Our third row has Himaru and Zed taking it on. The lead Williams of Ties goes with the lead Haas of Glazzy for the feature race. Then it's Laz and Drew. Drew suffering a massive spin at the end of the sprint race on a safety car restart, sent it tumbling down the order. Our lead Aston driver is Skylar, lining up next to Bluey, who is behind. Then it's Avo and John on the second to last row, and our last place driver is Wolfie. Bluey and Wolfie now opting for hard tires.
Yeah, that was I was just about to point it out. That is a very interesting change now. Going from the only one in softs, they are the only ones in hards now. trying to go for this
Yeah.
long stint, maybe going for a quick end. Then again, if there's a safety car somewhere midway through the race, say about lap 15, do you think a stop to the mediums and finishing the race on the mediums might be viable?
Oh no. I really don't think so. This is generally why I don't like starting on the hardest compound here. Because, like, or just in most races in general, you get the least flexibility with it. If you decide to stop under a safety car, you're forced yourself into a two-stop scenario here. As here we go. Moment delay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. FRL is once again away in Brazil, and there's yellow flags already out going on. I think those are for some of the back markers going around. It's alongside Leo. There's chaos in the back. I saw at least a Sauber off. There's a Sauber, a Williams, a McLaren, and a Haas all involved in that. Drew is now at the 6th. Sierra has taken the lead through turn 1, but Leo's going to be looking back there. Morgan gets up the 3rd over Luck right now. They're side by side. They make contact. That's forced evasive action out of Drew and Kimaru. The two coming to blows in Sector 2, and this first lap is off to a wild start right now.
We also see Bluey right behind Luck without any kind of front wing. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure who was at fault here. That was a bit too quick to see. But Luck did clip the rear tire of Morgan with his front wing and caused them both to spin out. Very unfortunate, but that gives Sierra and Leo a bit of breathing room to take out their fight. Then again, at the start, I think Sierra just had an absolute amazing start. Was able to get himself right next to Leo, get the inside. This is the powerful P2 starting position in Brazil. This is probably the best P2 to start on. Simply because if you can get a good start, you can outrun the pole position here.
I absolutely agree here, and that's Glazzy and Bluey in the pits. It looks like those two might have had contact. Kimaru and Drew having to take evasive action really does help Leo and Sierra, especially helps Leo right now, who, if I'm correct in my head, as it stands, will be champion if this is how it finishes.
This is 5 points. This is a 5 points difference from 7 needed. So
5 points from 7? No. Okay, so Drew needs to finish in 5th now, if Leo comes 2nd.
That or Leo needs to win.
Exactly.
Oh, it is way too early to call that. What we can see here is that Sierra is able to drive a bit of a gap. Not enough right now, but maybe he will be able to hold it throughout the next few laps.
Yeah. I wonder if Sierra adjusted his setup as Drew and Kimaru. I think Drew might have tapped the gearbox of Kimaru. These two now going to be fighting. Drew fighting for his mathematical life right now. I realized one of the nerdiest things I could have possibly said. But he's through in the 3rd.
I'm trying to think of a math joke to make your phrase justice, but I just can't come up with anything right now.
Luck's out!
That is a safety car. What happened?
I think Luck seems to have gotten into a crash. Not sure with who. Was a little focused on the fight between Kimaru and Drew. Drew's off track.
What is happening right now? Am I the only one who has like major lag spikes?
No, I'm also getting lag spikes right now. It's not the most stable. Sierra's out of the session, our race leader.
Fortunately, this is under the safety car, so he has time to come back. I'm quickly gonna send him an invite, actually.
Same. This is a chaotic race right now. Who had the drive-through? Maru with a drive-through penalty. He's in the pits. He's changing tires. Gladzy with a drive-through penalty. What is it with the drive-through penalties in Brazil here?
I have no idea. We certainly
It
have a few
feels-
people who opt to go for the hearts already, and I think that is way too early. The hearts are never
Yeah.
gonna make the race here.
Wolfie's out.
Again.
Oh, we are resetting the lobby again.
It seems like we actually have major lag issues
Are
right
we?
now. Not just with us, but with everyone. Something's certainly off.
Yeah.
Oh, bravo, this game. Okay, while Nixie is in the background dealing
Oh
with
my
some
god.
FIA stuff right now, it seems like this lobby is truly undrivable from what I can see and read, which would explain all the
Yeah.
jumping, which would explain the crashes. We could do a 35% distance race.
Yeah.
We do have that option available.
Yeah, we are having a lot of lag issues.
By the looks of it, we are setting for a 35% restart. We have no final call yet. Very interesting that these issues seem to arise right now. Okay, here is the call. We have a reset. 35%. Ah. I know why I love this game. So, when's the actual qualifying starting again?
Oh.
So
Yeah, so
in how many
so
hours?
that's about an hour 45.
Okay, yeah, that explains the hard limit very well.
Now, no, I have a hard limit in 45 because I have other stuff
Oh,
going
right,
on.
right.
So my personal hard time limit is 45 minutes.
The one who's gonna be really angry, well, not necessarily angry, but like bummed about this is Sarah. Sarah has had such a good start into the race, was able to take the
Yeah.
lead, was able to keep Leo in check for what it's worth, and then this happens. Granted, no one wants to drive under these conditions. That is totally understandable, totally fair, and yeah, I can absolutely get behind that. It's still a bummer when you have to reset due to issues like these.
Give me. I apologize. I have to sort this out.
All good things. I'm not entirely sure what to talk about at this rate as well,
Yeah.
because we're literally just resetting.
Are we? Yeah, we're just resetting. Like,
The funny thing is, from previous cast experience, this would be some kind of ad break right now, just to cover the time.
or is Corvix not gonna set it to 35% race distance? Uh,
Should I ping him?
we already did. Especially because, like, by the time we get everything set up, like, we effectively drove 7 laps right now. Just kind of close enough.
I suppose so. Yeah, I think like 35%.
It's
That
also
does
that,
cut about 10 laps.
yeah. So, like, we're close, but also we kind of wrote our thing for last weekend that we would do one shot at a proper restart and then cut it. Just because we don't want to sit here all evening or all afternoon trying to do restarts. And I think it's fair to say that, like, we have certainly at least taken out enough time.
I mean, personally, I think the consideration of one full-on restart and then the second one, if there is one, at 35% is a reasonable option. Also for the future.
Yeah.
We are still, funnily enough, this time we are waiting for Leo and Leo only.
Yeah. Or are we not? Is Corvix not?
Maybe he's
Corvix.
still setting up the grid.
Maybe. Well, he has to wait for Leo to do that. God. All right, I'm gonna mute and speak for a second.
The race
Thank you,
distance is set.
Corvix. All right. So hopefully.
Here is to hope that this is gonna be enough. One could think that now that F124 is out, the F123 servers simply are just being downscaled a lot.
Yeah, presumably. Like, we've always had server issues, but it was never this bad.
And we are loading in once again.
Right. They're once again going to set up their strategies. Strategies are going to be a little different. Tire wear is still a factor in these races, but we should, with this race distance, see a medium soft strategy with if there's an early safety car, you can pit onto the hards and make them last. That's another thing for consideration. It does change the dynamic. It's effectively a little bit longer of a sprint, but we should see tire wear be a huge factor towards the end, depending on when people pit still.
Part of me feels like we are gonna see a lot of soft starters now, because softs are probably the strongest starting tire here. In case of an early safety car, you can switch to the hards. Or if the safety car is a little later, you can switch. You can have a free stop onto the mediums. Soft medium is a viable strategy for sure, so you don't even lose out on anything. And if there's two safety cars, you can just go soft, medium, soft. So there are a lot of options starting on the soft tires here, which is why I think we will see a lot of soft starters.
Indeed, indeed. Mm. And it'll be a very interesting race, I am sure. Like I always I think like one of the better additions to 23 was the 35% race distance. It's flexible, but it still preserves tire wear considerations a lot more than 25% does. It's just a good distance.
While on paper I agree, I think the better change would have been to just make a fully custom race distance. I don't understand why this can't be a thing. Just make a slider on the amount of laps you want. Maybe you have a few presets like these ones, so you have a quick selection option. But why can't you just set a custom number of laps? It's not the most difficult thing to implement.
Yeah, that is also fair, especially because since F1 Challenge 99 to 02, we've had you can do both a custom lap slider and scale tire wear and fuel consumption however you want. And that's also a thing in Assetto Corsa. So fair enough, fair enough.
are heading into the formation lap for one last time today, this time for sure. Our fourth formation lap in total today, as a matter of fact. Here is to hope that this is also the last. I mean, it is going to be last,
Yeah.
but here's to hope that it will last.
Indeed. Looking, most drivers are on the medium, actually. Morgan and Avo are the ones who have opted for the soft tires, and Bluey's opted for a hard tire. Now, I personally do not see the plan behind the hard tire. Not
I mean,
sure.
you basically just taking yourself an option away with this.
Yeah, like, if there's an early safety car, you have to stay out. If it's a middle safety car, then you just go on the mediums, but you're a little riskier to the end. But yeah. Here we are, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. FRL is a... like, nope. FRL is now away in Brazil for the hopefully final time for this feature race, and Sierra has had another great start. Leo trying to hang it around the outside. He actually might. No, Sierra's got traction down there. Morgan is pushing up. There's yellow flags. That's for ties. Back there. Bluey's up into 10th. Morgan's up into 3rd now, looking, and she's looking to maybe make more advances up the grid. Drew has gotten up into 8th position, but Leo's managed to hold the lead this time. There's a collision with Wolf. It's between Avo and Wolf. Avo now has a 5-second time penalty. Back here, I don't see wing damage with him. Or with Wolf. I'm not sure what happened. I was focused on
Zed and Glassy side by side going into that turn. And it does look like Zed managed to come out ahead.
Yeah, though Drew now up at the 6th position, trying to fight his way up. But currently Leo is on track for 25 points. And as a reminder, 7 is the gap he needs. Glazzy and Zed fighting by as now Drew is down in the P8. This is just a chaotic start for a chaotic Brazilian Grand Prix, but Drew looking to the inside of Zed, excuse me. And it looks like they're going to be holding a McLaren in Haas bread. Sierra is pretty close. He's glued to that gearbox right now. Leo. Although, speaking of glued to gearboxes, Drew is right up Zed's. Do not abuse a kobold here, let's hope. Anyway. Ooh! Little squirrely coming around, but Drew looking to maybe get to the inside. Not enough traction, but they are going to be going down.
Something must have happened to Drew here, because he was in P6 before.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Leo sets the fastest lap at the Grand Prix so far. Zed is going defensive. Drew is going to have the outside here. The American car looking with the Czech driver, and he's through. Zed had a bit of a snap in the Senna S's, allowing Drew to get by. But Glazzy's now got some distance, and John's going to be looking to take advantage right now. Zed's gone wide, way wide. John's on the inside. Zed's now down in the P9. Drew up
That was
P8.
a bit of an evasive maneuver from I don't know who, but that allowed John to go through and take that position. Now directly behind John, even though slightly out of DRS. Who will have DRS for the upcoming straight, though, is Syrah. And he's only 0.4 seconds behind, so he may be looking for attack here.
Yeah. Indeed. Meanwhile, Morgan running on the podium positions, too. And Luck's gonna be looking. That's Morgan going a little defensive, but then gets back onto the racing line as Luck's not close enough. Sierra gonna be looking to pounce on our race leader, Leo, right now. DRS flaps are open. Ooh, they're very close right now. As they round into Sector 2. This uphill right-hander is very tight. Very little grip to spare.
Yeah, I
go
think Sierra is...
Oh my goodness, Luck! Luck is now side by side with Morgan right now. He had a gearbox. He had his front wing there. They're side by side. That's very tight. There's a little bit of contact as Luck swings out just wide. Makes contact with Morgan, who was pretty much 2 tires on the curb as far left as she could go. That might...
His strategy might have worked out. Just fight her to get her out of DRS and then use the DRS on yourself to get past. The issue is he is still in the DRS range of Leo and Sarah, and if he doesn't get that back by the end of next lap, then I think these two might be gone.
Oh, yeah. Looking right now, though, Luck holding 3rd, Morgan holding 4th. We then have Kimaru and then Drew right now. Leo's going to be looking to win this. I think he wants this win badly more than any other win right now. As we are...
Then again, we also have Sarah still very close behind. Doesn't let that gap get any bigger than 4 or 5 tenths.
Yeah.
He's really looking to fight this. He's really going for that win here.
Indeed, good news for Luck is that he is in the DRS of Sierra. Morgan's trailing out of DRS, actually. She won't have DRS. That's going to bring her probably under threat from Kimaru as soon as the softs go out. But here we go. Sierra's looking inside with his nose, but not able to get close enough. He will be up the gearbox of Leo as they go through the Senna S's along the line. There's yellow flags in the back. It's Avo and Wolfie again. Wolfie might have had...
They seem to like each other today.
Yeah, no. They really don't right now. I'm sure after the high of last weekend, that's got to be frustrating for Avo, but... Seeing Sierra, he's pretty close. Luck's also close! He was right there. Not really leaving much margin for error, is the Husky.
But Sierra's big advantage here is his battery is almost full. Like, he has a good 15-16% more charge than Leo does, and about 25% more charge than Luck. He is deploying a bit of it now. Leo is trying to defend here, it seems.
Yeah, I do think...
But Sierra could just lean back, be like, yeah, I have this advantage, I'll just keep that.
Yeah. Indeed. Oh, Drew is up at the 5th position right now. He's... It looks like just a standard DRS pass on Kimaru. That will put the second Haas into play. That's Glazzy. Bluey
going up for the attack here on the outside, and he gets past before the turn. Sierra takes the lead, goes past Leo, and still has a battery advantage. This is huge for him.
Indeed. Just gotta deploy that battery at the right time, use it to defend, and you're gonna be golden right now. And if you're Leo, this is a very awkward position. This is not the position you want to be in right now.
Leo is dropping a bit. He's dropping further than Sierra has been behind him. He's at 6/10 about now.
Yeah.
He's probably still going to have that DRS, but we've seen in the past that he has a bit of an issue accelerating out of his turn, and this time, again, loses a whole 10th just accelerating out of that corner.
Indeed.
He will be able to catch up a bit with DRS now, but...
Yeah.
I think a bit comfortable here.
Yeah, at least in this early phase of the race. the two Mercedes are going to be pretty close. But no cigar here. Sierra is quicker through the Senna S's. I was about to say, is Luck looking to send it on his teammate? But no. Oh, Drew! Drew is getting by Morgan back here. Looks like those soft tires are starting to come off. And there's a yellow flag that is for Laz, who I think had just spun. Though here's the Williams of Bluey going wide. Laz is touching the grass. Bluey gets through. He is out of battery. This is for P12 now. Bluey liking to dump that battery.
I know that we tell people to touch grass every now and then, but this is not exactly what we meant. Not under the circumstances. Then at the front, Leo is only 4 tenths behind now, so he is activating the battery. He is pushing him for it. So is Luck, actually. And I think Leo will take the lead here. Sierra not really defending it at all, but Luck is looking to
Luck and Sierra making a little bit of contact. Sierra looking to get that traction by. I think that just plays into Leo's advantage, though, as these two fight hard. Woohoo! Here they go. Luck is over the tail of Sierra. I think there are a lot of well, there are a lot of jokes I could make about a husky here, but I think I am going to refrain for the sake of the audience.
The thing is, I think Sierra is playing this very, very smart right now. He's having a 30% battery lead over Leo. That is a lot of energy. And he's not really looking to fight. He's looking to conserve his battery. It's not the first lap where you win the race. It's not any of the middle laps where you win the race. The only lap that matters for when you win the race is the last one. That is the only lap that counts. I mean, if you're 5 seconds ahead by then sure.
And I was going to say, remember, we do have a pit stop as John's now pulling to the outside of Kimaru for P7. Kimaru's battery is empty. But Kimaru with DRS is going to be able to potentially hold position here. John and that Red Bull looking to get by the junior team. There he is. He's looking. He goes inside now. He's overtaken here plenty of times in the sprint. They're very tight. Kimaru, though, goes very wide, but manages to hold the position. And that's... Ooh.
We will have to keep our eyes open from now on, though, because we are slowly creeping into the pit window. About next lap is when you would start considering going for the hards. A couple laps later is where you might pit for the softs. So the next few laps are going to be crucial. Sierra is deploying some battery here, probably just to keep up, not really to overtake.
Yeah.
He has a big battery lead, 40% difference. That is huge.
Yeah, you can just dump all that at the right time and make up all of that ground. The interesting thing, though, is that the Mercedes pair do have, well, a pair here. They can make some things happen. Potentially. Sierra looking to the inside of Leo. Here we go. No, not able to get by, but Luck is looking to maybe pounce. And this is the advantage that the Mercedes pair have that I was talking about. You have two drivers putting pressure on Sierra, and they're not going to really challenge each other much, or at least not as much as you would maybe challenge Sierra here. So the team game is an option right now for the Mercedes team.
It is an option in more than one way, but it could also backfire, because if they both decide to pit at the same time, Luck is going to be, well, at a heavy disadvantage. So what I think is going to happen is that Luck is going to be pitting first. Sierra needs to come in immediately after in order to not get undercut. However, they are staying out for the time being.
Yeah, Morgan is the first to pit off of the soft tires, and I'm not surprised. She's now down in P11, but those softs were starting to fall off.
Oh, Sierra is in striking range. She's very close.
Luck's fallen back a little bit. Here they go. Zero on the outside. Leo holding that inside. He's trying to go as wide as he can with the Alpine there. I think there was a little bit of contact. But these two are fighting hard, lap after lap.
This is exciting to watch.
Yeah, this is really good. We have two more drivers coming into the pits. It is the Sauber of Lazarus, and Avo's also coming into the pits. Indy Aston Martin.
Look at these three cars. Third place is still in DRS range of the first car here.
Yeah, you know who's starting to... I'm starting to see in the background of some of these camera shots. I'm starting to see a bright white livery. Drew, I don't think, is out of this thing. As these two... Oh, Sierra's around the outside. Now they're going to be side by side. Sierra's going to have the inside on the second.
He has DRS though, and he might...
Yeah, Luck also has DRS. Three wide! They are going 3 wide for a moment, and Luck is now in the lead, and they're wide! Leo's taking back the lead as they go wide at the start of Sector 2.
So,
and this is...
So, Sierra went into turn 1, side by side with Leo. Wasn't quite able to hold it. Then, Luck had a bit of a better run. Sierra had DRS as well, though. They go 3 wide. Both of them get past Leo. And then touch each other, so Leo gets back in the lead.
My God. I could imagine there might be some swearing in the Mercedes garage. You know who that benefits most of all, though, is Drew, who's taken a second out of the gap there through all of that chaos. And Leo's going into the pits.
Oh, he's probably betting on Luck here to go for the overtake. Luck is certainly trying to push here, deploying his battery, but Sierra obviously knows.
Yeah.
Sierra knows he needs to push here. He is using his battery. He needs to defend here. Has a bit of a better exit. And I think even with DRS, this is not going to be enough. No, by far not. Luck is so far behind.
No. Leo and Drew are both pit. They are on the soft tires. Skylar's coming into the pits. Now I'm going to assume for softs. We'll have to see if I'm correct. Yep, softs. So Sierra and Luck.
So Sierra has to cover this now. Sierra has to go in.
Yeah, he has to cover it off.
He could consider going 1 lap later in order to have that massive gap, that massive tire difference. Because for the softs, 2 laps tire difference are a lot. And again, it comes with a bit of a risk of falling behind yet another car, and I don't think you want to risk that.
No, especially with Drew in play, pitting on the same lap, and both cars are now pitting. This is going to mean Glazzy, assuming he doesn't pit, will inherit... No, he's pitting. Is everybody... No, Kimaru is going to inherit the lead of the Grand Prix, as John also comes into the pits. Ooh, Luck is going to be right on Sierra's backside here.
Leo is coming in here, but Sierra has the inside line. He needs to break. Is a bit slower on that pit exit, but should be able to get right behind Leo again. The issue is Leo's tires are on temperature already. Sierra's are not. He needs a lap in order to warm up these tires, and he needs to catch up quickly.
Yeah,
now.
The DRS gap is a factor here. It's the
issue that Sierra has right now is Sierra is out of battery. He needed all of that to defend against Luck, unfortunately. So all the advantage he's played out is kind of gone.
Yeah. Look who's entering the DRS. Look who's entering the DRS now of Luck. It's true. Ooh.
Not quite yet.
Will he get it? I think he's got it.
But he's also out of battery. So I think the next few laps, not much is going to happen. Luck kind of has a great position here. Yeah, still quite some battery.
Yeah, Kimaru is now in the pits. True with the fastest lap. Here we go.
Has
We
been
have-
pushed out by Luck, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is going to be a very, very close fight towards the end. Syrah is very, very close behind Leo. He has fresher tires right now, but he does not have the charge.
Yeah.
Black and Leo are about similar when it comes to battery.
Yeah.
And Drew, he used all his battery to catch up. He really needs to charge his battery, but he
Yeah.
can't really unless he catches up. And it doesn't look like he will, although
Yeah,
it seems
I-
like Luck made a mistake.
Yeah, I am looking at the back, meanwhile, at 10th, because Wolfie was right there for a bit. But no, not quite.
Oh, Luck is going for a move on Syrah here. Takes the outside line and gets past using his battery advantage here. Does not do a great exit here, however. And
That's going to give Sierra a chance then, especially with the DRS. Luck knows it. He's going defensive. He's blinking, though. But they hold this current position, and it is now a Mercedes 1-2.
Drew currently unable to keep up due to his lack of energy. However, this puts Syrah in a bit of a position where he kind of wants to hold back for a moment, charge his battery, and then maybe go for a charge, because I can imagine that Luck doesn't want to sit behind Leo. I can imagine that Luck wants to pull past and get that lead. And if they battle, then Syrah has a fair shot at the win. Drew, meanwhile, is slowly creeping closer again. However, with the DRS coming up for the cars ahead, he will fall behind by a significant margin.
Indeed, indeed. Oh, this is very close. Drew has fallen back. I think Drew is doing as much as he can right now.
Like with a bit of better speed, tries to set on the inside here, goes side by side with Leo and gets
Luck is through!
But I also think that Leo did not really go and defend that, because he absolutely knows that any type of defense will just lose them time. So he just lets him pass and thinks, yeah, we have still 7 more laps to go. I can just get past again next DRS.
Yeah. There's plenty of time. Here we are. So laps are ticking down.
That is the kind of issue with Brazil that you have. You have such a long straight, such a powerful DRS straight.
Yeah, and, well, especially I think for Morgan, that's going to really start to hurt her if Glassie is able to get close enough with the tire difference. Morgan's not going to have as much of an advantage on the mediums here. Leo taking a little bit of clean air, but they're kind of holding position right now as Luck leading. Sierra's getting close, though, and Drew is behind. Just... I am currently...
Syrah is very close to Leo, but he's probably not going to make a move here right now.
No, Luck is starting to eke out a gap.
Drew managed to creep behind again, though, and Leo is charging his battery. So currently, Leo, I think, is in the best position here, unless he drops out of DRS, which he seems to be doing right now. We know that his exit out of that last turn isn't the best, or hasn't been the best in the last few laps. He is.
Oh, he's out!
Yeah, he pushes the battery.
It's close. It's close.
He got in. He barely got in, and that is a retirement in the pits. So it seems.
Yeah, that's Wolfie retiring in the pits, but currently, oh my goodness, these guys are now close. They are gearbox to gearbox. I think Luck may have even slowed down a little bit to preserve the DRS.
Oh, Syrah is right next to Leo, pushing their.
But Leo's got battery.
But he kind
and Leo's past Luck. Oh my god, they got really close there. Luck has gone wide. That's gonna mean him and Zero are side by side. That helps Leo, who has retaken the lead with 6 laps to go.
Oh boy. This is far from over.
Close. This is really close. This is...
That was a good attempt by Sira, though. He saw that Leo had to push the battery in order to defend against him. And Luck didn't notice that. Luck did not counter push. So he was able to slip next to Luck, but wasn't able to make that move stick, unfortunately.
Yeah, so now they're going to be pretty close. Zed with a time penalty for going off track too many times. Luck looking outside. Sierra and Luck are going to be fighting this lap once again. They're side by side through the Senna S's, but Luck has a slightly Oh, Luck going down onto Sierra. A little bit of a squeeze. They make a little bit of contact. But Luck manages to maintain the position. Oh,
to try to push past Sarah, he has used all of his battery and is now blinking.
Yeah, this is going to be very close as they go through. We'll see what Sarah can do down the back straight. I don't think Luck is going to give this up without a fight. Drew is casually just getting into this picture, though. And here we
This is a bit heartbreaking for Sarah. I think he had all the means in his hands to win it, and he gave it away. I think he gave it away by pushing way too much battery on his in-lap.
Yeah, it is potentially there. The Mercedes pair are going... Oh, Leo's going defensive for Luck. And now they're kind of backing up into each other. I'm surprised these two are still fighting as hard as they are. Glassie has gotten past Morgan on the DRS straight, meanwhile. Simple DRS pass for the Haas driver. But this fight at the front has championship implications right now.
Morgan is actually looking back at the Haas. Morgan is diving on the inside, has the inside line here, and gets past Glassie. Glassie has a bit of a better exit, but it is no use because there is a rear wing from Morgan. And she makes that return.
Yeah, very good fighting for her. Right now, just trying to hold on to that gap, trying to use the medium tires as much as they're gonna go. It looks like that the medium soft strategy is the better one to be on, though, right now. But Morgan's having a pretty good race, all things considered. As Leo and Luck are going side by side again! Luck is through! So Luck is taken. Yeah. Leo not fighting as hard against Luck. As things stand, that's Leo 18 points and Drew with 13, because I think he has fastest lap right now.
That is a good question. I am not exactly sure as fast. Let me see if I can find this out.
No, it's Luck with the fastest lap, sorry. So it would be 18 to 12, which would not be enough. Oh, that's a ghosted Williams there, Bluey.
I think he just made room for that fight. Leo is almost dropping out, though. He's barely has DRS. Yes.
We were close, but Leo needs to win this. Oh, Sierra and Drew are blinking. But yes.
But Sarah is trying to push here, is having the inside line.
True.
Oh
my god, contact!
They touch!
They touched!
Nothing major happens out of it, but that should secure the second place for Sarah for now. However, he has no battery left at all.
Glassie's through on
this little touch from Sarah might actually secure Luck the win here.
Yeah. It almost certainly did. Drew looking to get by now. As we're seeing
However-
Leo tumble down the order.
However, Leo still has quite a bit of energy left. He has 60%.
Yeah.
So if he gets a good push
Here we
past Sierra
go.
here and then a good lap after that, it's
This
2.2
is-
seconds. And he
Yeah.
can make up a second on that straight with DRS.
Yeah. We'll have to see, though, because Sierra's the big one to get by as we are about to begin the final lap in Brazil right now. Leo is going to be looking to get by Sierra here. He goes down the inside of the Senna S's and is through. 2 seconds, though, to Luck, who is currently winning and might play spoiler for his teammate after fighting so hard right now.
And
Leo.
believe it or not, this would be the second win for Luck in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row right now. Luck got his first win last weekend. Flying close as the long front straight but we didn't really see Furry's play as he rounds the car break. Wins in Brazil. It was off of the first time, third time, with this Leo is all in Brazil. Well, next week, jumping promoted to Factory 10. Okay, that terrible raid was not Christ. Maybe you're going for the last. Yes, I'm already incessantly on to it. But right now, I have seen educational third voice have been pressed. Thank you, 14. We'll be next Saturday, Australia Grand Prix on 13. Until then, take care.